Welcome back to this week's episode of Inside Me with your host, Nick Racioppi. Let's kick it.
This kid's coming all the way from Jacksonville. Give it
The
from
stage, let's keep going. The stage next. Good friend of mine, finally back in town.
Here we go for our next comedian, Mr. Nick Racioppi, everybody.
Thanks, guys. I've been Nick Racioppi.
Welcome back, everybody. God, I really hate doing that voice. I guess welcome back. I don't know. It's just a regular ass week. No sense in giving you the YouTube bit. Yeah, isn't that fucking annoying when people kind of can't just kind of can't? Dude, I sound like my kids right now. Well, but you gotta, but first you have to, but then the thing where the person and the and they were doing they were, that's my kids. That's my kids right there. To a T. That's my kids. Just spit it out already, you know? No, welcome back, everybody. If you watched last week's episode, some birthday. So I had a good birthday. Missed open mic on Thursday, but that's because that was my birthday. You guys already know. Hibachi. Ba 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 ba. Thanks for watching the video last week. If you did, if you didn't, go fuck yourself. No, but this week was Thanksgiving, dude. It's like back to back. That's it. Every month's got a fucking. We got a holiday coming up, so we're in that stretch. Comedy's picking back up. December 3rd, I will be at SeaGate Bottle Shop. Fundraiser, Toys for Tots. Bring a toy or bring cash to donate in order to get in. Otherwise, you're leaving. You're shoo-shooing, right? Shoo-shooing away. And then December 17th, I'll be at the Crooked Lotus. And my wife has a competition same day in Raleigh. So that'll be 2 hours there, 2 hours back to Sneed's Ferry. Do 20 fucking minutes, I know. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited. It's going to be my first 20-minute spot, so let's see how it goes, if you know what I'm saying. And by see what I'm saying, I mean, so nervous. No, I'm not that nervous. I'm pretty confident in my material, man. I have a solid 20 minutes, all like interchangeable right now, so that's cool. I'm excited. That'll be a fun show. I've never been to the Crooked Lotus before, so we finna find out, ain't we? What did I want to start off this week with? Well, I guess Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was fun. We got a lot of stuff done. I'm going to take a sip real quick. We got a lot of stuff done. My wife and I, this was like the first holiday we had worked as a team in a while. We only had like one little bickering match, and it was because she wanted me to go grab Starbucks in the middle of my day while she had to run into work. So I was like, okay. Actually, that's a lie. She didn't have to run into work. Actually, yeah, she did. She ran into work that day, but it wasn't because of that. She had already had Starbucks that day, and she was like, "Can you grab me some more Starbucks?" And now, here's the situation: where we live, everything was closed. The grocery store, the fucking Starbucks, the Target equivalent, I guess, all closed. Now, I needed to pick some things up so we could use it for Thanksgiving, right? And I'm telling this story all wrong, dude. I went out to get Zyn. I'm an idiot. What am I doing? Hey, you hear that? You working today? You working today? See, this is why I like starting off my episodes with Zyn, because the nicotine helps stimulate my brain, and so I can think more. I went out to go get Zyn, which is why it was so frustrating that I couldn't get it, because it was supposed to be just a gas station store run. But then she's like, "Can you pick me up Starbucks?" And I'm like, "But you've already had Starbucks today." And then when I had a little bit of an attitude, we started to get into an argument. Now, from that point on, I thought, well, here goes the day. Like, we're not going to, no, neither of us are going to enjoy this holiday. Neither of us are going to be talking to each other. And neither of us are going to have anything nice to say. And boy, oh boy, was it I hope I'm in different speakers right now. Boy, oh boy, was it the exact opposite. We worked so good together. We worked so good together, dude. I had the turkey. She had like most of the sides. I helped her chop stuff up. It was the first holiday in a while that we were like together, you know? Together forever, forever and ever. Together. Yeah, because I mean, look, we've been married for 10 years now. A lot of things change, and a lot of and by change I don't mean for the good, you know. My wife and I are at a weird spot in our marriage right now. We're still just like, look, we've both grown from like when we originally got married, right? I was fucking 19. She was 20. No, she was 21 when we got married. So I was 19. She was 21. Yeah, she's roughly about a year older than me, but just the way our birthdays fall online, she winds up being like 2 years older than me for like 6 months. And that's how that works, because that's birthdays. But yeah, I don't know. We've been in a weird spot, and, you know, I love her to death, and, you know, certainly leaving isn't an answer to it. Yeah, well, okay, it is an answer, but it's not the answer, right? So, dude, we just killed it this holiday, you know? Everything was good. We had a friend over and her daughters. So it just wound up being a really chill Thanksgiving. And look, I told you guys I'm on this energy, you know? If I don't want to do it, it's not doing it. So not doing it. I'm not going to do it, right? Yeah, so Thanksgiving was fun. I did this thing called spatchcocking. I'm going to say it again. Spatchcocking. Right? I just spatchcocked the turkey. I'm spatchcocking on the turkey, which, if you guys don't know, just means removing the spine, right? So I split the turkey. So the turkey was like, nah, you know? It was like, the turkey looked like Flubber after he hit something really hard. Just smacked up against the floor or wall. In this scenario, tinfoil pan. Okay. Seasoned that like a motherfucker. Okay. I put butter up and everything. I was buttering this thing down, dude. Head to toe. Well, I guess neck to talon. Yeah, it was just buttered turkey, son. Got some seasonings in it. Some aromatics around the outside. Now, what I think I did do was put too much of the broth in the bottom, because everything came out like super baked up top, but then it was just kind of like regular ass cooked under, right? It would have been really nice if everything was like nice and seared, had a nice coat of like crispy skin, and when you got to the bottom, it just wasn't crispy because I put too much of the broth. I would like to ask this. If you guys know the difference between stock and broth, comment below. Because I had no idea, and they both look the same. I'm assuming broth is salted and stock is unsalted. Now, I could have just researched this and not brought this to the podcast, but what kind of podcast would I be if I'm not bringing up the hard-hitting questions like stock and broth? If I offer you stock and you come back with broth, what is the difference? That would be sodium chloride. Some fucking nerd. That would be the sodium chloride content inside of the mixture. Yeah, which one? Broth, sir. You know? Hard-hitting questions out here. And that, look, I'm gonna hammer in my my answer for that. Comment below if you guys know, or if you make it this far into the podcast, because I've only been talking about Turkey Day and that's already passed, and you guys are over it, and you already put your Christmas decorations up like we have. And it's like, Nick, you're a little late, you know. Should have been a topic you picked last week, but whatever. Go fuck yourself, because it's my podcast and you guys are still listening to it. So, no, but recently my son has been getting more and more embarrassed of things. And I think it's funny, but I could see how villain stories begin. If somebody is embarrassed of something and then you bring it to light in a public forum, betrayal. You know, my son, he's got like this like stuffed snake, and he was like doing like a nunchuck motion with it, and my wife recorded him, and then he immediately shut down and was like, no. No, you're not getting any more out of me. So I think it's a little bit of a camera shy thing, but then also realized that the thing he was doing might be dorky, and immediately stopped. Now I thought it was cool. I was like, dude, you've never even played with nunchucks before, and you're sitting here doing that motion. Now I realize the motion isn't hard because it's just here, and as long as you're passing it, you're just kind of going with the flow of it. I'm not saying that it's an incredibly hard motion. I'm just saying for him who had never touched nunchucks before, being able to like kind of do that motion, it's a gifted, right? Karate kid, and he does jiu-jitsu. So, sorry, I coughed. Yeah, so it was like, and then he got super embarrassed about that. And, last week, it's just been piling on him. You know, I've noticed he's embarrassed a lot more easily now. And I just think it's cute. I think it's funny because, like, it'll be the weirdest stuff, right? Like, we picked up some food somewhere, and we're walking back into our parking lot, and my car is right next to the car that he just, like, opened the rear passenger or the rear driver's side, like, passenger door, the sedan door, and then opened it and was about to get in. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? I'm on the driver's side of my car. He's on the opposite side of the other car. I'm like, yo, not even our car, buddy. Not even close. The car was like midnight black, like obvious difference. There was a bunch of shit in the back seat. And then I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And I finally look down, and there is a passenger just in the like passenger side seat going. And I'm like, I know. I get it. My son, not always there. My bad. He closes the door, comes back in around, and I call my wife, and he just starts bawling his eyes out in the back seat from embarrassment. He was just really shook up. He was like, I don't like you. I don't like that you guys are talking about. But then it turned into, like, once I started laughing because of the ridiculousness of his fit, he started getting those angry tears, those things, you know, where he goes into the fit. I don't know if your kids do it, but mine do. So he's like trying to talk, but he was also crying, and then like realized how ridiculous he was acting. So then I literally just told him, look at yourself right now. And then he started laughing, but then also crying. So it was just a mix of emotions in the back seat of a Subaru WRX 2018 Gunsmoke Gray with a bit of an angry energy to it. Okay, now I'm like, dude, you got to calm down. Like, there's no reason for you to be. It's a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. I've almost gotten into cars before too. I haven't. But to make him feel better, I was like, it happens, dude. Everybody takes their time with realizing where they are in the universe. Okay, now if you're walking into people's cars, you're doing the kidnapping for them. Right? So, important lesson, make them do the work, right? If you're going to get kidnapped, don't give them a freebie, okay? You don't want to get taken. You don't want, Liam Neeson, I will find you. I will hunt you down, and I will find you. I have a particular set of skills. You know? You don't want me, Big Papa Neeson, okay? I got the nose. I could do it. You don't want me having to hunt down these Arabic fucking or Romanian sex traffickers, okay? I don't want to have to do that. You're a nice young lad. I don't want you to, succumb to a very vicious sex trafficking scenario. So I don't want to hunt them down, and I don't want you to get taken. So let's prevent that by not getting in other people's vehicles. Okay, don't get in other people's vehicles. Now, we just do that, you are going to be safe, okay? You stay in my car, or you stay in your mother's car, and you kind of just follow your sister if that's going to be the issue. If you don't know where you are, look to your sister, okay? She's probably following us too, okay? Just do that, okay? I don't want to have to use my particular set of skills to find you, you know? By the way, dude, the Taken movie's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. But Liam Neeson's so good, you can't hate on him. Qui-Gon Jinn, dude, can't hate on him. A lightsaber would have made that process so much easier. Then again, they probably would have cut him too. So, never mind. He would have been cast and then killed. Speaking of childhood, what would you call them? Childhood heroes, childhood influence, people of influence. Jason David Frank passed away, unfortunately took his own life. And look, that was the first dude with long hair I'd ever seen, with that length of hair. To make it look cool, dude, you had to have known, like in the 90s. He's a martial artist, fit body, long hair. What up, shawty? Damn, you thicker than my eyebrows right now, shawty. And he just turns around and he goes, it's fucking morphin' time. Form, green dragon or whatever it was. Yeah, that's insane that he passed away like that. And again, man, it's like I've covered on the other episodes. You never know where somebody's at, man. Always reach out. It's sad that it was by suicide, but look, man, that show like shaped a generation. There are still people who are like 50 years old just going bonkers over that show, collecting every toy, collecting every fucking article of clothing, going absolutely nuts. And that show, man, that cast, I guess the original cast, they've been around long enough to where people are going to start dropping, but holy shit, dude, talk about an influential show on a whole generation. Like everybody, there's no way that man didn't start many martial arts careers. People who are like professionals now from that show, man. It's insane, dude. That show used to have like, all right, when you go back and you watch it, the dialogue's pretty shitty, but like the moves were cool, and like, you wanted to aspire to be a Power Ranger, and it didn't even make sense really why the kids in high school were Power Rangers. Like, why wouldn't it just go to some adults? Like, the whole premise of the show never really made sense, but when you're that young, you don't need it to make sense, right? Like, the Power Rangers, I think, was like 90, that was the year I was born, 93, 94 maybe. Holy shit, talk about, like, I wanted to be a Power Ranger, like, Superman, Batman, Power Rangers, that was it. Maybe the, what's the show called? Shark Attacks or Street Sharks. Watch the fuck out of that show, too. Shout out to the Vin Diesel commercial for those toys. Yeah, dude, and, then they had, like, the full feature-length movie, with Ivan Ooze. You guys remember that shit? That shit used to rip. Yeah, dude, it was really fucking cool. And I think he's so important because he's been tied to the character for so fucking long. I don't know. I've never been to like a Comic-Con or anything. But I would imagine, man, like, 30 years he's been those characters, right? And he comes back on different shows, so he's very important to the Power Ranger community, if that's what they call themselves, or the Wrangling Ranger fans or something like that. But so there's like all over my Instagram, I have a bunch of dorky stuff on my, and I'm not saying that Power Rangers is dorky, right? I'm not saying that, but it's important to a lot of people. Some people just have issues letting go of the things that they like. i.e., like I like to skateboard, I like to draw, I like to make people laugh. But those are all coping mechanisms with myself. Those aren't things that other people might necessarily be engaged in or need to be engaged in. So what I'm getting at is that Power Rangers was, very important to a lot of people. And, when I was 12, it was very important to me too. And, my son never really got into it. Neither did my daughter. I tried showing them the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and they were just like, they feel like kind of the same way I do about it now. It's just like, it doesn't make sense. They're just at school and they get the powers from Zordon because the thing. And it's like, yeah, man, he just kind of picks them to be like these weird space rangers that like fight off aliens from this one specific town in California. And they're like, but that's it. And it's like, yep, every episode they fight them and then they win. And then Tommy comes along or whatever, and he becomes like, the Green Ranger and the White Ranger, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's super sad, and it's unfortunate that anybody passes away, especially of suicide. But that dude was like he was a king, man. That was, I would say to like, Jason David Frank, I think would be similar. And, this isn't a wild statement. I think this is my opinion. I think he is just as influential on a generation as Chadwick Boseman was, He's shaped a lot of people. He's always had like greetings with fans, and like it's been all over my Instagram, but like you see videos of him like, kind of correcting people on when, other celebrities, when they're like, aren't you tired of fucking, aren't you tired of having to take pictures and like being stopped because of your performance on Power Rangers? And he's like, dude, easiest job in the world. You get, you talk to fans, you fucking, the whole point is to be engaged with the fans. And, you could just tell he was a really good guy. And a lot of those candid interviews, he seemed pretty like inspirational. So R.I.P. to Jason David Frank. Yeah, I guess rest in power, Oh, damn. Look at us, huh? Crushing 20 minutes. What else do I have written for you guys? Oh, I guess we'll do the question of the day. So I was thinking about this the other day, and how do I word this? All right, so let's say you go skydiving, and your parachute doesn't open, okay? You die, that's suicide. You land on somebody when the parachute doesn't open, that's homicide. Do they charge you post-mortem, whatever you want to call it, after you're dead? Do they charge you for murder? You die, you land on somebody. It's like, yeah, you killed somebody. Or is it like, that is a shame? That's got to be crazy. All right, maybe it's not that crazy, but like that would be ridiculous, right? It's just like an accident happens and then you happen to kill somebody. It's like, is that manslaughter to like the second degree or whatever it is? Because it's by accident. It's like you didn't mean to, but you did. And they're just like, sorry, like, justice system is the justice system. He killed somebody. So like now on his record, let's say he comes back in his next life, and now because he killed somebody, in his next life, he's just like, he's reincarnated like as a tree or as a parachute, or he's reincarnated as a felon. Maybe that's how felons are made. They're like just reincarnation, but like in their past lives they had done some fucked up shit, so they're just like, yep, no, you have this you're pre-biased to criminal activity. Because like me, like, I don't know, it's just not in me. I don't like doing illegal shit. I don't know. Maybe it's my moral compass. But like, could you imagine they just fucking, and he's just like they just like have all his pieces scooped up. Just like the order in the court. Do you John C. Smith plead guilty or not guilty to the charge of second-degree manslaughter against the defendant, Jason Allwright. Sorry, can you move the mic a little bit closer? It's just fucking, you know? And then they're like, this is stupid. The plaintiffs. Can you describe the events on the day of November 23rd? Because he's all crushed, you know? There's no, like, it has to be only paperwork if they are charging people, right? There's no way. You know? It's just sitting there, and, like, the lawyer feels dumb. Like, who's going to pay me? You know? Yeah, no, never mind. After thinking this through, there's no way. There's no way they're charging that, right? That's got to be stupid. The same newscaster that's like, yes, Christine, we're here live at the scene where the person who accidentally didn't open up their chute landed on another person. Gentlemen, how do you feel about the sequence of events that has currently happened, that has recently happened? And they just they're just next to the fucking splatted bodies. If that happened, what do you think the last sentence would be? Like, what is that? Damn, that fly is getting a lot closer to that. Oh! And then it just fucking whap! You know? Imagine the day that person's having. They're just like having the best day ever. And they're like, la 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 la, walking out of a Starbucks. They have their fucking gay ass, you know, fucking frozen mocha, whatever. And, they get a text. They just had a great first date. And the girl texts them the next day. And they're like, you know, I can't wait to see you again. Like, you know, let's make plans for fucking next Friday. And he's like replying to it, right? And then somebody just hears, oh my God. And he's like, heads up. And then as he looks up, you know? Dude just got promoted, right? That's how life is, man. It's like his fucking life's on the up and up. He's like, oh, wow. Thank you, Karen, for the notification of the new promotion and corner office on the 63rd floor of our building. I can't wait to see you guys on Monday. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and have a great weekend. And, you know, the girl texts, you know, we're making plans. Something in his head's going, why don't you start walking and do this? You got, you know, make your way home, you know, maybe do a little workout, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Continue on with your day. And he's like, nah, I got to finish these texts. You know, just get splatted. Yeah, that'd be silly. I don't know. What do you guys think below? I hope you guys like this episode. That'll be it for today. Well, really this week, but I want you guys, if you've watched this far, thanks so much. I love you. And yeah, don't forget to like and share. Peace.